Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to episode 224 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
How we doing?
Fantastic. If this is the first time you're seeing, hearing, or listening to us, this is the Two Player Co-op Podcast, where just about every week, two brothers get together to tell you everything you need to know about in the world of video games. If you like that, make sure you like the video, subscribe, share it with your friends, family, and everyone in betwixt. If you really like us, you can go to patreon.com/2playercoop, just like our producers, Steve Appleton, Aunt Sue, and Vernon Slayton did, as well as our affiliate, James Solar. It's a foot noise. If you like merch, you can go to teespring.com/stores/2playercoop, just like some of you did. Until we're out of this pandemic, I'm going to tell each and every one of you, each and every week, to go ahead and wear your woohoo mask. I love that I bleeped that out last week, and then Colin's like, F. But that was going to be way too much work, so.
That's fine.
It is fine. So thank you all for being here. If you're new to the channel as of last week, we understand.
Thank you for being here. And
yes.
Welcome to the fun.
Hopefully you will stick around. So if you missed it somehow last week, we did. We posted our interview with Colin. A lot of you guessed it, or if you didn't let me know that that's who you thought it was, you let me know in the comments saying,
assumed.
I'm pretty sure, like, Steve Appleton was like, I wonder whose content schedule would allow for a recording Wednesday nights. I'm like, yeah, okay. And I saw Derek was like, yep, I knew it, and I cannot wait to listen to this. So if you're new or old, thank you so much for being here. If you're new, I do hope you stick around. What we do every week, we won't be here next week, but just about every week, like I said, we get together, we talk about what we want to talk about in the world of video games, talk about what we've been playing, all that fun stuff. We do have some Let's Plays coming up. Hopefully, OBS doesn't crap the bed after this recording so that we can start our Legend of Zelda Let's Play series. Because if Nintendo's not going to celebrate the anniversary, we're going to do it. No, I screwed it up. I'll do it myself.
Fine. I'll do it myself. That's not even Thanos.
Was that
was
Guardians? Yeah, that was Batman.
That was like when he looked all weird and purple and he looked all jacked up.
But that was Guardians, right? When he says, I'll do it myself?
I think so.
Yeah.
No.
No?
No, it was Avengers. Because he was actually in Guardians.
No, he wasn't.
I'm pretty sure you see him in the movie.
On his throne up in
Yeah.
space?
I mean, he's just chilling. He doesn't have much of a role.
I thought Avengers...
I think it's the end of Avengers.
No, I might have watched the movie. The funny thing is, like, Avengers came out before, like, post-credit scenes were a thing. So when I watched it in theaters with Dad, at least I thought... Well, I hadn't watched...
Because all of the previous Marvel...
watched any of the Marvel movies up to that point. Because
Iron Man is when... The post-credit scene of Iron Man was when Nick Fury showed up.
Okay.
He's like, I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. And the internet blew up.
But no, like, I never saw the shawarma post-credit scene. I mean, I watched it after the fact, but I didn't see it when I was watching it with Dad. But yeah.
It was Age of Ultron.
Really?
According to Google.
According to Google?
I don't know what.
So I've never seen it then, actually in a movie.
Yeah. With the gauntlet.
Yeah.
You should watch this.
I'm going to. I'll do it myself. Big
See, he looked okay there.
He didn't look that good.
He was a little more purple.
He was very gold.
Well, yeah.
So Jess is going out of town in about a month for a girls' trip, her yearly
so
girls' trip to the beach. So then I'm gonna watch Tenet and I'm gonna watch that. I told myself I'm finally gonna watch Ultron.
Yeah, it's good. I don't understand the hate.
Well, it's not the first or 3 and 4. I haven't seen it, but that's what I'm going to say.
You're probably right.
I am right.
I just thought of Homestar when he's like, yeah, you're probably right. It's definitely no Infinity War or Endgame. I'm not going to sit here and say that it's better than the first one, but I also think the first one gets a little bit of, artificial inflation,
Give me a minute.
Okay.
So, before I'm going to figure.
And James Spader's awesome.
There's no strings on me.
Oh, I love it.
I saw that trailer and I was like, this is going to be the best movie ever. And then I never saw the movie. So just to go back to the Colin thing for a little bit. I know we were both incredibly nervous, but I really don't think it came across, except at one point at the beginning, I stumbled over my words. I said 10 something when I meant
But I mean, you
10.
do that on everybody.
Well, this is true. 1 year ago, I was like, dash block, horse car, but it was awesome. And like Bernardo tweeted, like, not everybody likes Colin, but shout out to Bernardo for giving us a shout out for the interview and everything. Thank you, buddy.
And the theme song.
Yes, and I'm going to get on a podcast with him soon. I'm going to talk about something fun. But, like, no one has to like everybody. What I can't stand, like, if you don't like Colin because of his personality or whatever, fine, whatever. But what I cannot stand is when people like him, when people dislike him for things that are not actually true.
Yeah.
I'll never, like, they'll tweet at me. They didn't with this. By the way, the reception for the video was freaking awesome. Yeah. Thank you to everybody that watched. Thank you to everybody that shared it, liked it, everything. But when people have tweeted me in the past, like, damn, Sean, you had hot dogs, didn't you?
Gumbo. So there is some sausage in there.
There's something in there.
You gotta peek behind the sausage.
The sausage is in my face. That's what she said. Like, I've had people tweet me like, oh, you like that bigot and that whatever. I'm like, please, seriously, give me one example of where he's a bigot, because there's literally nothing. Give me an example, because he's spoken out for trans rights and gay rights, and he's spoken out against the police state and for black rights and everything. Like, he has spoken out against all these things, but people, because he made a dad joke about peace and quiet. Oh my God, is this going to go live on? No, it's not. Okay. Because he made a dad joke 4 years ago that has just warped everybody, or people didn't want to like him.
I think they already didn't like him.
Exactly.
And they were just looking for, I don't know, I was going to say smoking gun, but that's not right. But they were just looking for a reason to be
anything.
Like, this is why.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Oh, he hates women. No, he doesn't. His girlfriend was sitting right next to him at the time. His girlfriend at the time, I should say, was sitting right next to him when he made the tweet, and she was like, she rolled her eyes, but she wasn't like, oh my God, I'm breaking up with you. It's just, it's ridiculous. I love Colin. I'm never going to be ashamed about that. And if you don't like it, sorry. It just is what it is.
You put your finger down.
No, I still love it. It was easily the highlight of our podcasting career. It's not going to be our biggest video ever because WWE 2K17 for some reason continues. It's like over 80,000 views, whatever now. But it was absolutely the highlight of us doing this podcast channel, everything. He was so easy to talk to. He was
super chill. Yeah.
There was times when we were going through the interview, I would stop and be like, man, I feel like I'm like on Sacred Symbols, because he's talking to us the way he talks to Chris and Dustin and everything. And it was just so easy to talk to. He couldn't have been nicer. He stayed a few minutes over so we could finish the interview. Like, hats off to Colin. I'm so happy that he sat down with us, and hopefully we'll do it again, because I only got through about a third of the questions I wanted to ask him. And I've already thought of more I'd like to ask him next time. But it was great. If you didn't check it out yet for some reason, go check it out. And yeah, shout out to Colin. There will be no podcast next week. I'm going to be out of town. My 10-year-old has a gymnastics meet in a state championship gymnastics meet in Knoxville. So we're going to that. And then we're going, Sean, to right outside of Atlanta. I forget what the city is, but it's like the Collierville to Memphis, whatever we're going to outside of Atlanta. And it's the Great Wolf Lodge. Have you heard of this or seen commercials or anything? It's this giant indoor water park hotel thing with like multiple. They've got a Baskin Robbins, and they've got all these sweet shops and stuff, and restaurants and everything. And yeah, it's going to be sweet. So no podcast next week, but we'll be back the week after that with our thoughts on Zack Snyder's freaking Justice League. My God.
Oh, are you gonna?
We'll be back Tuesday.
Oh yeah, it's another
Thursday.
week away. That's right. Okay.
Yeah. It's Thursday the 18th, and 4 hours and 2 minutes. I'm going to strap in and watch it all in one night, and I'll probably watch it again the next day. And Jess is going to hate me.
Are you going to watch it from 11 until 3 a.m?
No.
Okay.
Why?
I just figured you would. I'm guessing it releases at like midnight, right?
Oh no!
Midnight
I'm gonna Thursday. I'm gonna delete Twitter Thursday. I'm gonna watch it Thursday nights from 7 to 11, whatever, and then I'll get back on Twitter and see everybody crying about Snyder. By the way, when this whole name a gaming moment, whatever, that lives rent free in your mind, or name this that is rent free in your mind, like a month ago, I wanted it to tweet, but I didn't. But I'm gonna say it now. A lot of y'all should have just said Zack Snyder, because y'all are so freaking triggered. Like, Bernardo's hyped. Nick, Young Roshi is hyped. I don't, at this point, especially with these teasers they've been putting out, I didn't really care about anything that they've done at this point. They've done Aquaman and Flash. I'm like, whatever. I'm glad Flash is going to get more of a role in this. But just seeing the Batman one with him, the shot of him on the friggin' bat tank, I'm like, oh my God. And then Superman, I saw somewhere on Twitter, they showed like, they did like a half and half. What am I saying? On the top of the video was Batman helping Superman up after the fight in BVS, and then on the bottom was Superman lifting Batman up in ZSJL. And I was like, okay, Zack Snyder's Justice League. Yeah. Okay. And some people were like, he's literally lifting Batman out of the dark into the light, and I was like, I know it probably won't be great, but like, I am so excited to watch that movie finally. And I love that he's leaving it on a cliffhanger to be like, your move, WB.
Assuming that all the stuff with Zack never happened, and even if the original Justice League probably was not going to be what we're getting now, like it was not going to be a 4-hour movie, but assuming he was able to finish it, I guess even just take that out of the question. Like, were you any less hyped for Justice League once Zack bowed out? Or, didn't finish it, whatever you want to call it. Like, did that bring down your hype level? Or you were still just like, yeah, whatever, I don't care, I'm ready?
I didn't realize the magnitude of him bowing out.
Okay, so let me
because
ask you
I was like,
this.
Joss Whedon did Avengers.
Take your
DC fan.
negative thoughts about the movie out. Are you more hyped for Snyder Cut or the original?
Justice
when
League?
It came out. Yeah.
I'm more hyped for this.
Really?
Because BVS, while I liked it, again, 7.5 out of 10.
Ultimate?
7.5. The original, 6.5.
Okay.
When everything started coming out, and I've got tweets where I was like, oh, like Greg Miller was like, oh my God, they're going to CGI out his mustache. And I was like, or oh my God, he's whatever. I was like, Greg, they're going to CGI out the mustache. It'll be fine. And every year when it comes up my time hop, I'm like, oh God.
And to lead off the movie
with him going, hey guys.
I just watched that this morning.
Really?
Yeah. It was randomly on at like
Wait, Justice League or Goonies?
Goonies.
But like, no, I'm more hyped for this. I am almost as hyped. I'm not as hyped as I was for BVS before the reviews came out. And then it was a 27% Rotten Tomatoes. And I was like, oh,
that's a bit low.
Something's happening here. Yeah. And I don't know how Justice League was a 40. I don't know how that movie sucks. So I'm hyped for it. But yeah, anyways, no podcast next week. We'll be back the week after. It'll probably be a long one because we'll have 2 weeks of news and we'll have Snyder Cut. Maybe we should do a separate video for that. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But I'm hyped for it. I cannot wait. The reason I had my finger up, so last night we had Casey's birthday party here a week early, just him and a couple friends and parents and stuff. And as Sean saw, I had a little bit too much to drink. And I was telling Jess today, I was like, I don't know why I can't sing. Like, I literally can't. And she's like, no, it's not that you can't.
I think you start singing and you're like, I'm too low. No, I'm too high. And you just keep going. You can't like pick one.
No, but I don't know what pitch it. I don't know how to sing. But she was like, you could. She's like, no, you can. You just don't know how.
Yes.
So like she said, like if I wanted to actually go get lessons,
I think lessons could fix you. I think some people, Mom, no. You, I think, could be fixed with voice lessons.
I don't know. But anyway, so after that was all done, and I was a little inebriated, and the s'mores were gone.
Just a little bit.
I felt fine this morning. except my shoulder. Oh, I got my COVID shot. As you saw, I got the. So both of us have our gold trophies. Did you like my tweet? I mean, I know you liked it, but did you like the tweet?
Yeah,
it was funny, right?
Yeah, that's good.
Platinum trophy in 3 weeks for both of us. Nick was in there and he was watching, I guess, the second half of the original Avengers. And I was like, Nick, you don't got to go to bed. I'm just going to sit here. And I watched it. Well, and the day before he watched the beginning, when it starts, I'm like, what are you watching? And he's like, Avengers? I was like, is this Ultron? He's like, no, Dad, it's the first Avengers. I was like, I think I've only seen that movie once. And I did not remember the beginning.
It's been a while since I've seen it start to finish.
Do you remember what happens? There's helicopters going to the site and everything, and then Samuel L's there and whatever, and then they're working on the Tesseract, and then Loki shows up. I'm like, I kind of remember this.
I remember it now, but yeah.
But I watched it after they get their butts kicked up on the helicarriers and stuff, and Agent Coulson dies. He didn't actually die, right?
I don't know if he died. I don't know. I don't know.
But then Nick
because
Fury,
he comes back. Yeah,
he faked the cards with the blood on it to get them to go together and stuff. And then when you see that iconic moment of the pan around, I was like, man. So like Endgame really did they just were like, okay, here's the moment, and we're just going to put it in here again. Like the pan around as they're standing in the street, it's the exact same, at least from what I could tell, it was the exact same shot.
It might be. Yeah, I don't remember.
Because every time else in Endgame, when you see the original Avengers, it's all like from the shoulders down, so you can't see who's actually in the suit. Like it's not Black Widow anymore. That's not Captain America's ass and everything. It was really good. One of the absolute best moments I think in any superhero movie ever is when Loki is in the tower after he's been hit down and everything, and he starts talking to Hulk, and Hulk just I will never forget seeing that in theaters and just laughing my ass off, unlike any other thing I'd ever seen before. And watching it again,
well, even the part when I think it's him and Thor when they like bring down one of the little flying beasts, and then he just goes, just like punches Thor.
Yes, I did one of my at that. But it was so good. It's still so weird to see. It wasn't weird at the time, but to see Captain America in that crappy suit after how awesome he is in Winter Soldier and everything after there, I was like, this suit with the bright blue, and it's just so weird to see him in that. But Avengers is still awesome.
Yeah, it holds up.
So yeah, I will watch Ultron here in the next about a month or so. We'll go from there. Sean.
Yes.
Have you played anything this week?
I did.
Okay.
I played and beat.
Wow.
Maquette.
Oh, we need to talk about this because I played it too.
Oh, okay then. Perfect.
Let me give my thoughts first because you can tell me I'm an idiot. I played it for a half hour and I was like, I go into the thing, I move the red block, I go into this world, and I go up the elevator and there's a bridge. So I grab the bridge. I'm like, I got to go down here, and I have to make the bridge go here so I can walk across. And I'm like, let's try. Okay, let me go over here. I'm like, I don't get this game.
It shows below where it's going to land, and you can with L2 and R2 you can.
That's what I didn't know because I missed that in the tutorial. I was like, "There's something I don't get." And I'm like pushing.
Yeah, L1 R1 rotate it.
Okay.
L2 R2.
Okay. So now I can go back and play it.
Yeah.
Okay. What did you think?
I liked it. I think the mechanics of the game. It just seems. It's a very cool concept. I will say that. I feel like. They're just like, cool mechanic, here's a story.
Just throw them together.
Yeah. Like, and you could, I'm sure somebody more intellectually
gifted,
whatever, than I could look at this game and be like, no, the fact that you can do all that is a metaphor for
this
blah,
and this.
Blah, blah. But okay, whatever. The story and the mechanic, I feel like, just have nothing to do with one another.
Yeah.
But it is cool. There were some parts I had to look up. And then once I saw the solution, I'm like, Oh, well, that's like I just felt stupid afterwards. It's a cool game. I like it.
So the little bit that I played, I do like when you're walking around the worlds and stuff. Like the story will pop up like on a wall, and it's
very Edith Finch
stuff. Yeah,
I get Edith Finch and Firewatch vibes.
Hold that thought. Edith Finch is better though.
Oh, than this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I played it for. I can check. I think I played it for 40 minutes before I quit. But
Edith Finch?
No.
Oh.
No, the Maquette.
I was gonna say. Yeah, it's yeah.
But I like that. It did seem like it ran kind of weird. Like there were times where it'd be super smooth, and there was other times where it was like it was chugging and stuff. But I don't know. I mean, it's a free PS Plus game. I think everybody should try it. Now that I know the R2L2 thing, there was one time I was doing something like in the tutorial area, and I could tell that I clicked or I pushed a button or something that got rid of whatever the prompt was, and I was like, "Uh-oh, crap! What did that say?"
Whoa.
And then you go into like settings, and it's just there. It doesn't really tell you what the actual controls are in the settings. So I was like, I know I'm missing something.
Yeah.
But the whole when I couldn't get the bridge to line up, I was like, no, I'm done.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Well, I was done with Maquette. So then I said, you know what I'm going to do? Because this game's pissing me off. I'm finally going to go back and I'm going to play Firewatch.
Oh. And?
Oh, shoot. I forgot that was today. James, you're sleeping. I played it for about... I got into day 2. It's weird because I built this game up in my head so much. First thing, I can't move the right stick quick enough in this game. Like and you can't adjust it. So whatever the right stick does for looking and stuff, it is what it is. You cannot speed it up or slow it down or anything. Which I went in the settings mode. I was like, am I missing something? No. But you get through day 1. I had forgotten how emotional the opening is just when you're going through the text and everything.
Yeah.
Everything that's going on with Julia.
And the music. Oh,
yeah.
I love that song.
But I played through it. It's still beautiful. I still wish I had a PSVR port. It kills me that it never got it. I'm sure it's been hacked or something on PC. I'm guessing it has to do it in VR. But that world is beautiful. The voice acting, Sissy Jones as Delilah is amazing. I forget who did Hank. I can never remember his name.
It's the guy from The Office. Pam's friend when she goes to art school.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's that guy. But yeah, I can't think of his name.
Now I don't like Hank because I didn't like that guy.
I never would have. I remember watching The Office once, and like the credits afterwards was like, guest star, whatever, and the name popped up. I'm like, why does that name sound familiar?
Yeah.
And I looked it up. I'm like, oh my God! Like I never would have pictured Hank. I pictured Hank looking like Hank,
yeah.
like the voice actor,
big old hands,
right? And I'm like, wait, that's that guy.
Yeah.
But all right, it's driving me nuts now.
But I really liked it. I forget that I had forgotten that it's day 1 when they really set the tone, which makes sense. Whereas you did
Rich
the
Summer.
fire. Okay, wow, I never knew that guy was Rich Summer.
Yep.
Whereas they're doing the girls are swimming, they're skinny dipping down the lake, and they're doing the fireworks and stuff. And this time I don't think I did this the first time, but this time when I was finding all their beer cans, I was like, I'm going to pick everyone up. Okay, I'm going to be a good forest ranger. I did all that, and then their bras and panties are everywhere, and he's like, it's panties. And Delilah's like, you okay with it? He's like, I don't like saying this word. The voice acting's so good. Now I wish you hadn't shown me. I wish I didn't know that was art school guy, because now I'm going to picture him as Hank.
Yeah.
But and then as you make your way back, I can remember going through the ravine and everything. But that's when you find the stranger, the guy that's out there. You see the flashlight, and he's like, stranger, I got some nice granola bars on sale, stranger. But then like you radio Delilah, and you're like, there's somebody out here, and then he's just gone. And I remembered. Like, obviously, I know, spoiler alert, the game's 5 years old. I know there's nothing, like, supernatural or anything going on now, but I remember playing through it then. I was like, what the hell? And then, I know I haven't gotten to the deer yet and all that stuff, but, yeah, it was really good. And then you get back to your lookout, and the typewriter is through the thing, and then the music kicks in. And I'm like, oh, my God. When I'm working tomorrow, I'm just going to listen to the soundtrack nonstop.
Yeah.
But I didn't beat it. I just got into day 2, and then I was tired, and I was like, I just need to watch Raymond and fall asleep.
You should go back and play Gone Home again.
Nope. Because that game is literally the most overrated game, I think, of all time. I'm not going to get into it. Logan, I'm sorry. But it's still... And I can remember there was a patch that came out after release, after we played it, that made it. Because I can remember there's a couple times where something... I don't remember exactly what it was. I could go back and listen to our podcast, but... There were sometimes like when you would like mantle up over a rock, something would happen. Like it would either kind of freeze for a second or something. I didn't have any of those issues, but I just wish you could control how quick you move the right stick. And I'd also forgotten how much you rely on the map and your compass and everything. It's not like, I knew it wasn't like GTA or something where you put a waypoint and then there's just like arrows. But it's really cool. But again, that's why this game should be in VR. I really hate... I'm happy for the people at Campo Santo that Valve bought them, but I hate that they bought them.
Yeah.
We're never going to get... what was it called? Not Gods and Monsters.
In the Valley of Gods.
In the Valley of Gods. We're never going to get it. It's not going to happen. And I hate that. But Firewatch is special. I do want to go back and finish it off this week and just beat it. Which would only be the second time. I played through it the one time, and I said, I don't need to play this again. I wish I had a platinum, because I would do everything in it. But
yeah.
Firewatch is awesome. If you've never played it, go play it. Sean.
Yes.
Want to get the news of the week?
Yes.
All right. The story that won't die, won't die. Apparently, the Switch Pro actually is real.
Actually...
As I think we all assumed, but it looks like it's going to be coming out this year. If my family's coming through on the microphone, they're coming through on the microphone. This comes from VGC, Video Game Chronicle. Nintendo's long-rumored Switch Pro hardware will reportedly enter production in June. Bloomberg claims that the updated version of the Switch will contain a new 7-inch Samsung OLED screen as opposed to the 6.2-inch and 5.5-inch LCD screens of the current standard model and the Switch Lite, respectively. According to the report, the new display will be manufactured by Samsung, well, no kidding, and will start production in June, with assemblers due to receive the first batch in July. Despite the larger screen, the new Switch will continue to display content in 720p resolution in handheld mode, according to Bloomberg, but will be able to support 4K when docked. The decision to stick with 720p will reportedly mean a notable increase in battery life, but Bloomberg notes that this may lead to friction with developers who may now have to work with two vastly different resolutions when creating their games. It's likely that some form of upscaling similar to NVIDIA's DLSS technology would be required to achieve such a significant resolution jump. Quote, the OLED panel will consume less battery, offer higher contrast, and possibly faster response time when compared to the Switch's current liquid crystal display, end quote. Yoshio Tamura, co-founder of display consultancy DSCC, told the publication. Bloomberg suggests the hardware may have similar dimensions to the standard Switch, with the bezel around the screen being reduced to cater for the larger display. Multiple outlets have reported that Nintendo is preparing to launch new Switch hardware in 2021 and that it might feature upgraded computing power and support for 4K graphics. I love VGC, but sometimes these articles just go on for way too long. So I'm going to stop reading now. So essentially, it sounds like these are going to start going into production in June, or at least the screens will. The actual Switches will be in production in July, which I've seen some people tweet that would line up perfectly for a November release of the Switch Pro. So to sum it all up, 720p handheld, 4K docked, OLED 7-inch screen. The OLED will consume less battery life, have a higher contrast ratio, fast and possibly a faster response time compared to the original Switch. Sean, what do you think?
I honestly don't care. Swallowed some spit. All right, choked on it.
One or the other.
I'm not playing games on the Switch for their graphics.
No.
I don't care if it was 720p
on the TV.
On the TV.
Yeah.
Fine. Like, I don't care. 'Cause I don't care if it was 720p on the TV. On the TV. Yeah. Fine. Like, I'm not, I don't care. If it was 720p on the TV. On the TV. Yeah. Fine. Like, I'm not, I don't care. Like, I'm not, I don't care. If it was 720p on the TV. On the TV. Yeah. Fine. Like, I'm not, I don't care. I don't care. Handheld mode, I don't care about that extra, 3/4 of an inch or so, like 5/8 of an inch, whatever. I don't care. The battery life is fine. I don't care. I just do not care at all. I honestly cannot imagine, other than just, Nintendo fanboy diehard people, like, who are just going to buy it just because it's Nintendo. I don't know who's in the market for this. I don't understand it.
Yeah.
I could not care less about this.
I already traded my Switch once for the new one with a better battery, and I'm like, I don't
like.
And I've seen people complaining online about the 720p screen. When you're playing this on a 6 or 7 inch screen,
you're not
720p is way more than what do you want? A 4K screen that's this? What the hell's the point of that?
Yeah.
The only thing that would worry me, but I know this isn't going to happen, is would they say that some games are only compatible with the Switch Pro? They're not going to do that.
I assume it's going to be like PS4 Pro.
Yes.
Like the exact same library. Some will look a little bit better if you have the Pro.
They've sold 60-something million of these things. They're not going to cut anybody out of this ecosystem that already has a Switch. I do wonder, though, it would make sense to launch this with Breath of the Wild 2. Now, I don't know why I'm still holding out hope for this, because clearly after the Nintendo Direct, it's not going to come out this year. But maybe it is. Like, maybe the reason they don't want to talk about it yet is because they want to be able to show the game running in 4K on the new Switch and announce them both at the same time. I don't know. I mean, I think the battery life is fine. I never played this. I've never played my Switch, but when I do, I usually play it docked, so I don't care about the battery life. Right. If I ever travel again and I have to go overseas and I want to bring my Switch, I'm going to have a plug right there. Like, I just don't care about the battery life.
Yeah.
And Nintendo games... Yeah, Breath of the Wild, beautiful. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, beautiful. Odyssey, beautiful. None of those they wouldn't look, I mean, quote, they would look better in 4K.
4K adds nothing to these games.
Right.
Demon Souls in 4K, okay. Mario Golf in 4K, I really don't care.
Right.
Like, I don't know. I don't get it.
It's not surprising to me that we've all been talking about this forever. This thing has to happen at some point. Some people are saying maybe it'll be March next year for the 5-year anniversary, and then Breath of the Wild 2 would be then also. But I mean, if they're producing these things in June, July, why are they going to wait 9 months to put them out when they want to get it out November? They're a year removed from the two new consoles. Get it out before Christmas, Black Friday, maybe a new Zelda game. Maybe they're going to freaking have Mario Odyssey 2, which no one's even talking about, to launch with it instead while they finish Breath of the Wild. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's coming. We all know it's coming, and apparently it's coming. Next up, very slow news week. So we're going to talk about Take-Two discussing ports of their old games. This comes from Push Square. Grand Theft Auto 5 is still one of the biggest games in the world, despite first releasing on the PS3 all the way back in 2013. To date, the release has shipped over 140 million units, and that number is only going to grow when Rockstar brings the title to the PS5. This is a PlayStation website, so to the PS5, Series X, and Series S, I'll say that, later this year. And speaking as part of a conference earlier this week, as transcribed by VGC, who we can't get through a podcast without mentioning VGC, Take-Two boss Strauss Zelnick has hinted that fans can expect more than just a, quote, simple port. Quote, we've done remastering differently to the competition. We don't just port titles over. We actually take the time to do the very best job we can making the title different for the new release, for the new technology that we're launching it on. So we improve the technology, we upgrade the visuals, and we make performance enhancements. And that's why I think our remastered titles typically do so well. End quote. One recent example is Mafia Definitive Edition, which developer Hangar 13 rebuilt from the ground up for PS4 as opposed to simply porting across the PS2 original. Quote, GTA 5 was a standard bearer when it launched. It continued to be the standard bearer in the second generation. We'll see how Grand Theft Auto does in the next generation, he continued. Obviously, I'm confident that Rockstar is going to deliver just a great experience, but you can't do that if you're just doing a simple port, end quote. We already know that the next-gen version of GTA Online will feature content not available on last-gen platforms, and Rockstar has also hinted that its gameplay will be more responsive. Of course, you'll be able to find out for yourself, as a wildly popular multiplayer mode will be free for PS Plus subscribers to download at launch, not at launch. The other thing, just as a note, I'm guessing you saw my tweet, but starting April 1st, you know how if you have PS4 and you play GTA Online every month, you get $1 million in GTA money for free. Starting April 1st, they're going to make it a little bit more difficult, although it's not really that difficult, but you have to go in and manually redeem it. You go to the PSN. I'm not sure exactly the process, but you go to PSN, you search for the money, and then you redeem it every month. So you don't even ever have to open up GTA Online. You don't even have to have it installed to redeem the money. But it's going to change, but you should still do that if you care about GTA Online, if you're going to want to play it on PS5. Just know that starting April 1st, you have to do it manually. I do have to say, when I read this, I was like, maybe I'll end up buying GTA 5 again for the third time. Like, they did make it, GTA 5 on PS3 to PS4 was a big jump. Graphics, fidelity, frame rate, everything was improved. The first-person mode ran beautifully, yada, 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 yada. And again, like I've said, even when speaking of the free money, when I go on to GTA Online through GTA 5 on my PS5, it runs so much better than it did on my PS4, just being on the PS5. But now I'm wondering, like, so they got me to buy it again because of the first-person mode and it's PS4 and whatever. I'll buy it again, whatever. And I kind of think the way they're talking about this, they're not just going to port it over. It's not just going to be the same game over. I know I could just get GTA Online for free and just keep going with that. But I really love the single-player portion of GTA 5, and I think they might make me buy this freaking game for a third time, which is going to help their sales. So what do you think?
I think for me, and I've talked about it before, I just can't really get into... It's not that I can't get into GTA single player. I just always end up getting distracted. I'm like, I could just go cause some chaos. Yeah. If everything that's new for PS5, other than just the single player mode, is available and online, if they add any kind of new, it's not just up-res, but if they add new like gameplay mechanics or whatever, like 4 did with, or like PS4 did with first person, whatever, if that's all available in GTA Online, I'm probably not buying it again. If there's some really cool stuff that is not available in online, but you could do if you own the game or whatever, then maybe I would. But I don't know. It depends on what new stuff they do with it.
I'm reaching here, but when this game came out almost 8 years ago at this point, of course they said there was going to be single player DLC. That disappeared, everything. I don't think they even knew how big GTA Online was going to be. Microphone. But what if they do? Now, obviously, if they just do like a few more missions, that's not going to be like, you're not going to be like, well, hell yeah, I'm in, when you don't even really care about the single player. But I did, and I would love, like, I hated that we never got the single player expansion for that, like GTA 4 got with Lost in the Damned and the Ballad of Gay Tony. Like, I hate that we never got that for GTA 5. I probably shouldn't even, this is like the Metal Gear Solid 3 remake of, E3 predictions with this. I shouldn't get my hopes up at all, but maybe. I don't know. Your burps are worse than my.
I don't know. Isn't it weird how you can have farts that don't stink, but burps are always going to smell? You can't have a burp that doesn't smell.
The worst is when you're wearing a mask.
Yes.
When I'm walking through Kroger and I'm shopping, I'm like, burp. And then I'm like, oh. I'm walking around the aisle like, oh.
You're like Dutch ovening yourself.
Yes. Dutch ovening me.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to GTA Online with whatever. Even if it's, honestly, even if it was just a fresh coat of paint, like up-res, prettier, ray tracing, all that kind of stuff, bring it on. I'm excited.
Especially
if there's
they can
other
get-
new stuff coming besides that's
Yeah.
available online. I that's going to be awesome.
It's going to be interesting to see if they can get online running at 60 frames per second. Now, that'll be dependent on your internet connection and the lobby that you're in and all that. But if, like, at a base level, if they can say online is now capable of 60 frames per second on console, that's huge.
Yeah.
And I also wonder what this means for PC. Like, when these games come out, are PC owners going to get that? I'm sure they'll just be upgraded to whatever it is for free, I would guess. But I don't know. Until then, I'm just going to keep getting my free $1 million. Go for
I haven't done that in a few months, but
I will. Once I get my money, I'm going to be over 20.5 million now. Yeah. So let's do some heists, or I can buy like a yacht or whatever. I don't even know what's in there now. It's been
Let's
so
do it.
long since I tried to do anything in there instead of just shooting people. And the last item on the list, again, slow news week. This is going to be a quick podcast. Aliens Fireteam was announced this past week out of nowhere. It is a co-op third-person shooter coming out this summer. I'm going to sneeze. I meant to say 3-player co-op third-person shooter with a single-player story. It's got an actual story. It's not just online stuff. It's got an actual story. It's set 23 years after the original Alien trilogy. There are 11 different types of xenomorphs. There's also android bad guys and stuff like that. Maybe Fassbender's in there. Was Fassbender in the whatever the prequel thing was? Was he in there? Wasn't he in it? Or was he just a voice? I never saw it.
I never saw it either.
I'm just filling
You're talking Prometheus?
Prometheus, yeah.
I don't know. I don't remember him being in it, but maybe.
There'll be
I mean, I didn't see it.
5 different classes. Oh my god, my sneeze. 5 different classes, over 30 guns. It will have RPG-like progression, and the gameplay will be similar to Left 4 Dead. People were very happy about this when they saw it. It looks cool. I like Aliens. I think it's fine. So this didn't really like make me go crazy, but for some people it did. But in the back of my head, I'm just like, what was that? What was the horrible Alien game? Was it Isolation? I can't remember. But the last big Alien game that I can remember coming out 6-7 years ago, whatever it was a complete dud. And that was the game that I think we talked about on the podcast years ago, where they were like, somebody got the code and there was a spelling error and they just deleted like one character, and all of a sudden the AI worked correctly because they deleted that and then it worked right. And I was like, man.
Wow.
So I don't know. Do you care anything about Aliens Fireteam?
I mean, not as of right now, no. I guess it could come out and maybe it just blows everybody's mind, but I don't really care. Also, 3-player co-op just seems weird.
Yeah.
Like, okay, it's different. It's not just 2-player co-op, but like, why 3? Why? It just seems odd.
Yeah.
But
No.
no.
I was thinking for some reason today when Michael, whenever he goes like, it's like my favorite thing when he tries to hold. Yeah, that.
Yeah.
It makes me happy. All right, now it's time for the wrap up, Sean. PlayStation, obviously they're working on PSVR 2. We talked about that last week. But this week they did announce 6 new games for the PSVR 1, including Doom 3 VR Edition, along with Song...
What did you have for dinner?
Burgers. Song in the Smoke, After the Fall, Fracked, which a lot of people are excited about, I Expect You to Die 2, and Zenith. Doom 3 was the big one there. I think it looks cool. Did I send you this?
No.
And apparently, so they added like a quick thing to turn around 180 degrees.
Oh, that would just make me fall over. If
No, but I think it's better than just.
I mean, I guess, yeah.
So Doom 3 VR, you care? You care about any of these, or is yours just it's on the shelf?
I mean, I would get it back out. Like, I never did finish Resident Evil on it. I kind of want to.
I don't.
I'm curious. Farpoint or whatever the PS Plus game is. I mean, it sounds like it's just a.
At least redeem it.
It's just I have it now, but like, I think it's just a first-person shooter kind of thing, which Resident Evil is one thing. It's pretty like slow and plodding.
Yeah.
I don't think I could play like Overwatch or Call of Duty or anything like that in VR. It's not going to work. And I don't know if that's what this is supposed to be, but I love my PSVR. It's just kind of a pain to hook up, and I can't be bothered with it. Every so often I do it, but I don't know. Yeah. None of those are going to make me do it.
Right. Naughty Dog, I think it was actually Neil Druckmann that said this, but Naughty Dog is working on, quote, several cool things in the future, and he asks everybody for patience. I assume one of those is the multiplayer mode for Last of Us Part 2, the factions that at one point they said they're working on, and they've never said anything since, so we'll see what that is. Hopefully it's not Last of Us Part 3. Episode Yuffie for Final Fantasy VII Remake Intergrade will be 2 chapters. The story is based around Yuffie and Sonnen, whatever you say his name is, infiltrating Midgar to steal, quote, the ultimate materia from Shinra. I still don't know. I shouldn't buy this because every time I get DLC, like we talked about even with Phoenix Rising, I was like, I'm just kind of sick of this. I never play through DLC all the way. I never do. So why would I do it for this?
I think and we talked about this, I think the only one I did was Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Ooh. Oh, I did
You did Breath of Wild, right? Didn't you beat it or no?
No.
Oh, I thought
I don't even remember what they were. There's the one with like the Master Sword Trials or whatever.
But then there was like
could not beat it.
Yeah, but then there was the thing with like the 4 champions. It was like a new quest kind of a thing. Where there's the big sandworm thing and you got to throw bombs in his mouth or something, and then you get the motorcycle if you beat it.
Yeah. Okay.
Did you get
I have the motorcycle,
then you
so
beat
I
it.
guess I beat that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. This is kind of interesting to me, but I don't know. Maybe. I don't know. I'm not sold.
Yeah. Square Enix announced for some reason that Marvel's Avengers on next gen, which is also actually current gen, they're going to be slowing down the hero progression and the cosmetic unlocks will be less random. Everybody already thinks this game is so bloated and padded. Why are you going to make it take longer to level up? This game can just kick rocks. Epic Games has purchased Mediatonic, the creators of Fall Guys. If people are still playing that, good for them. Good for Mediatonic. Good for Epic now, I guess. But I just don't get this game. Like, I don't know what they bought them for. I don't know if that was released, or if it was, I just didn't write it down. But Fall Guys to me is just meh.
Yeah. That seems like such a cool concept, and then I played it, and I'm like, oh my God. Every time it's like the same levels again. I don't know.
And it's just meh.
Like, it could be cool if there was a game more like, I don't know. I feel like there needs to be more interaction, not just don't fall or get to the finish line first. If there was like, I don't know, almost like American Gladiators, kind of like guns,
Joust
you could be
or
like try to shoot somebody off of like something, like if there was more to it. I do think it's a cool concept, but that game got real old real fast.
Yep, I agree. The BAFTA nominations were announced. The Last of Us Part 2 leads the way, of course, with 13 nominations, including Game of the Year, which it will obviously win. There was the New Game Plus Expo, I think it was, over this past week. The only thing that I wrote down of note out of that was that Blaster Master 03 is out on PS4, Switch, Xbox, and PC on July 29th. Will you get this?
Probably.
Yeah.
I mean, almost. Yeah, I will.
You know what I forgot about until last week, and I looked it up, and it's still not out? Hazelnut Bastille.
Oh, my God. I forgot about that.
Originally, I looked it up. They were originally hoping to release it October 2020. They did an update January of this year, but there's still no release date or anything like that, so I don't know.
I totally forgot about that.
Yeah,
game.
they didn't hit the tier for PS4, but it will come to Switch and PC. It's got to be close, and I don't know the 8-bit version for that, and I cannot remember what the name of that is now. Originally, they said you had to be, if you pledged at least $5 or more to their Kickstarter. I think you got the 8-bit version for free, but I'm still waiting to hear if I assume they'll release it separately. Why wouldn't they? Because every sale you make is just extra money. But that game's got to come out this year. It has to. And
if it doesn't come out this year, it's not coming out.
Coming out.
Yeah.
I won't play it as soon as it comes out.
What was the other one that was kind of like that?
Blossom Tales.
Blossom Tales. That's right.
That was really good. Forever Entertainment has signed on with Square Enix to create several remakes. They were the company that did the Panzer Dragoon remake. They're going to be doing these remakes across one franchise. A lot of people are saying it's not going to be Final Fantasy. They're going to keep that in-house. But I do wonder what it could be. Some people are saying maybe they're going to remake the original Tomb Raider trilogy and bring it up to current gen, which could be cool. Because those games were fun, but they don't play well at all.
Yeah, that would need to be a ground
It'd
up.
be like a Metal Gear remake.
And that it will never happen. But yeah, that could be cool. I don't know.
I think so too. Phil Spencer told people this week to not expect any events or world premieres in the near future. There's all these rumblings about a Bethesda event happening this month where I think they would announce that the deal's gone through with Microsoft and they would whatever. But Phil Spencer's telling people to just slow your roll, relax. We're going to have to do a lot of relaxing this year with COVID. Just get used to it. After, like we talked about, these last month or so, there's been a lot of games that have already been delayed, and there's going to be more. And finally, here on the wrap up, on the wrap up, Xbox Game Pass is getting Madden 21, Football Manager 21, NBA 2K21, and Star Wars Squadrons. That's pretty cool that that'll be on Game Pass for all you X-Bones out there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it for a nice, quick episode 224 of the Two Player Co-op Podcast. Thank you guys so much for being here. Again, like I said, we will be off next week because I will be out of the town unless Sean wants to do a solo episode.
No, probably not.
All right. We will be off next week. We'll be back the next week, which will be 2 weeks from now, a week and a half after you're listening to this, hearing or seeing to this. And until that time, Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.